Company's a little bit different with that, so pay attention. Some only need 18 and older. Some you've got to be 60. Some the other person actually has to apply for the policy itself as well. Okay. Policy fees. Sometimes some of the companies have policy fees, some do not have policy fees. So that may make a difference if you're looking to switch somebody out of a Medicare supplement. They may not be too happy there to have to pay a fee for the application.
It's just a one-time fee though.
It's just a one-time fee. Yes, that is correct. So if you're saving them a good bit of money, guys, the application fee shouldn't be a problem really with it. Some of them offer a little bit of extra benefits. They're going to be discounts when they offer the vision, the hearing. Those are all going to be discounts, and they will get that when their policy comes in. They give them a little benefits brochure of all the discounts and how to be able to go through and get all of those done. How many of you guys are actually writing supplements every month? Okay, how are you finding those supplements? Just
through surveys and using a little bit of a different
approach?
Well, not approach, but just different parameters as far as the type of household I want to walk into.
okay, so maybe location a little bit, going to different areas.
Location a little bit different with the financial situation that they're in, a little bit higher.
Right. I know that we've talked, I know Dave's talked, Scott's talked, Mike's even talked a little bit about those #1 offices where their premium is just astronomical. Guys, all they do is sell med subs.
I have a question. I have a client I tried to schedule through the MAC system. She has a supplement she's paying $400 a month for. Her husband enrolled her. He just died in March. She tried to cancel, but I wouldn't let her, and I rescheduled her for Thursday because I wanted to come in the office to figure out what can I do to offer her something more affordable. She paid that. Obviously, she didn't even know she was paying it because her husband was taking care of it. So now she's aware, but I don't know what's wrong with her. You know what she sounds like? She has a, well, she's talking through one of those things.
So she's trying to jump the balance.
Trach.
Okay.
So I don't know what existing, that's the part that makes the Medicare supplement a little difficult to understand versus going to writing it of help.
Absolutely. It is a little bit more work, guys. It's not going in and saying, okay, do you have end-stage renal disease? No, great. Will you qualify for this? You're absolutely right. So that's where the underwriting guides come into play a good bit, and just getting yourself familiar with the Medicare supplements. Arlic is a great company because they accept a lot of different health conditions. I just got a guy that has Alzheimer's issued with Arlic.
Seriously?
Yes.
Wow.
Has no other health issues other than he was in December. He was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. You check the box. It's under the section that's okay to be checked, and he was in underwriting maybe 4 days, 5 days. Issued right out.
Okay.
I just got, and this is good information, everybody. I just got a lady approved with rheumatoid arthritis, which you know is pretty much a decliner. Bankers Fidelity took her.
Right. Bankers Fidelity is another one that's very lenient. They're going to be lenient with the underwriting. Now, it takes a little bit of time. How long was that one in underwriting with Bankers Fidelity?
Not really long. I called them ahead of time, just sort of wasting my time. And they were pretty nice about it. Maybe 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
That's about average for most of them. You know?
GTL is also very lenient.
Yeah, GTL, that's another one. I wrote that yesterday. I had a client get denied through Manhattan. She was diagnosed with kidney problems 4 years ago. Takes no medication for it. There's no type of treatment that's being done for her. Was able to move her to GTL because they only go back 2 years on that question instead of the 5 years like the other carriers did. So sometimes it's not real easy and you've got to dig into it a little bit. You're going to be in the house a little bit longer. Medicare supplements, they're going to give you high premiums. They're going to stay on the books a lot longer. And when the rate does go up, they're going to call you to ask you, hey, can we lower this down again?
Well, another thing too, though, is you actually really have to know the things that. What I look at is I know everybody's going to decline you on this.
Right.
So let me go and see what I can get past on certain other ones. So all I have to remember is those. So if you come and say I have Alzheimer's, well, I know I can go to this person.
Right.
So don't try to remember everything. Just remember what gets denied most often that you can get passed on another client.
Right. Right. And then there's a lot of companies, guys, and I didn't put it out here because those change. A lot of companies are giving bonuses right now on Medicare supplements. They want the business. So if the companies are doing that, guys, not saying go with those companies. If it's in the best interest of the client, then do it. But if you're talking more about supplements, you're utilizing the surveys, guys, that's all I'm calling is surveys. I go through the allotted amount that we're allowed to have, and then I go back and see if there's old ones. I pulled surveys today from April that nobody has even opened. They still have the new tab on.
What?
April, May, June, there's still surveys way out there. So if you guys get your initial surveys from your manager, go ask, say, hey, is there any more, you know, maybe older ones that are left in there? Maybe some from last week that nobody else got. They do no good sitting in the survey pool.
You're ready to go to different places, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a reason why they're sitting in.
Right.
Yes.
Right, absolutely.
They're out the way.
But we actually booked 3 out of the 4 that we gave you. So we got 3.
No,
We just didn't have the other one booked as farther out than we need to be
Right.
right now.
They are going to be in different areas, guys. There's a ton of them in Myrtle Beach, the Columbia area, the Florence area, Beaufort, Bluffton, Okatee area. Don't be afraid to travel. I mean, the one I did yesterday in Beaufort, man and wife saving them $55 a month. I made about $600 off of them. So, and the premium was somewhere around $4,000. So those are nice ones to get, guys. And then ASB for convention purposes, what's $250 now?
$150.
$150. So they increase it by 150%. So GCU is the one that will accept COPD, guys, which is huge.
They don't even ask.
They don't ask anything
What
about
about
it.
in her case
Yeah,
like
they just had a
emphysema?
really,
What about in her
really
case like the emphysema?
overnight.
Well, the emphysema, that's kind of what I would look at. I'd probably try to pull that GCU app up and see if it's going to ask anything about emphysema. COPD, emphysema is in the same category.
Emphysema is.
Yeah.
But I would see maybe that one would work, or Arlic might work for that one.
Okay.
You just have to go through the applications. Now make sure, you know, these people have medication bags. I mean, we've all been carried a grocery bag full of medication a time or two. Sit down, go through them, guys. That's why that benefits website is so important. Go through that. There is no sense in sitting there filling out a medication that they have a drug they're taking that's on the decline list. It's going to get up there, they're going to look at it, they're going to decline it immediately. Then if you're trying to save them money, the customer's going to get frustrated and be like, you know what, I don't want to mess with this, just leave it alone.
Use the conditions on the quoting software too, and that'll kind of show you what's going to knock out.
In a sense, yes.
Yeah, it's
It'll
not
definitely, in a
always
sense.
right.
It's not 100%
but it'll
right,
give you an
but
idea.
yes, it will give you an idea. But the benefits, I use it in every house I sell a Medicare supplement, even if they're on 2 medications. I'm still pulling it up, making sure those medications aren't on the decline list. The other day I had a lady, she's got a G plan. Somebody switched her from an F to a G. She doesn't like the G. She wants back on the F.
Right.
But she doesn't want to be back on the F until January 1st because she's already met her deductible. Which makes sense. Cigna, I pulled up Cigna's underwriting guide. Inside of it, it says you can write it 180 days out. Went ahead and wrote it up for a January 1st effective date. So those are the little things. Not every company, well, I know most of them are 60 to 90 days. But Cigna did allow that. So different ways of doing it, different ways of getting it. It makes going into these houses and calling some of these Hilton Head clients, these Bluffton clients, these people that really actually hard to get appointments with. When you pick up the phone and say I can save you anywhere from $800 to $1,200 a year, they're listening now. That's grabbed their attention. I always do it on an annual basis. I don't do it on a monthly basis. Make the number larger.
Also, if you have a tough case that you think you may not get through, a lot of these underwriters will allow you to call them and ask them, and they'll give you a pre-qualification. You can do that with Medico, you can do it with Bankers Fidelity, you can do that with GTL.
America will do that.
America, so you've got certain companies that will accept your call and tell you, oh yeah, we can do that, no we can't. So before you even put it in, if you know, and the clients can be very appreciative of that too. Oh great, they said we have a good chance of getting that. It makes your life a little bit easier. Instead of writing it and find out, like Matt said, you go back, now you gotta try to get back in the house.
Right. E-apps. How many of you guys are using e-apps if you can? It is phenomenal, guys. I love having an e-app, putting it in, and before I make it home at the end of the night, the company's already got it, got a policy number attached to it, and sometimes they're approved that quick as well. I know Scott's done a couple with Medico, I believe. Before he can even get out of the next house he was in, they've already issued them, called the client, everything's good to go. So they're working very, very quickly. These supplements can actually issue out really, really fast for you guys.
Signals that quick too.
Yes, everything. If everything's good, you got the right phone number on the app. They'll issue out correct as well.
Yeah, they will.
But that's basically what I wanted to get in front of you guys again today, and just kind of hone in again on the Medicare supplements. We're coming into Medicare Advantage season. We all know MAs are not going to pay out till the first of the year. Supplements will continue to pay out.
And I will tell you that the Medicare Advantage products I've seen so far, the monthly premiums again have gone up a little more from last year. So we had the conversation last year of, is it right for the client to try to put them on the Medicare supplement if they're paying $35, $40 a month and having to go to a specialist paying 45 or 50 bucks. Well, now most of the premiums have come up to $40 to $55 a month. So now you start getting to $50 a month of monthly premium, and you're getting a $45 copay. You're already past where the supplement should be.
Yeah.
So then maybe we'll do a training on it when we get a little closer on the supplements versus the Medicare Advantage. But there's going to be a lot of times, especially if somebody's seeing a specialist 8 or 10 times a year, Medicare supplement is going to stop their bleeding.
And plans cover a lot more than you really think.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's only up to $20 copay. That includes a specialist as well.
So the Medicare supplement is more than what we think, is that what you just said?
It covers more than you think.
Covers
Like if
more.
they go in the hospital, they don't have to pay anything.
Right, that's
With
correct.
an implant. Even though with the doctor's shade, it's still going to pay up to a $20 copay. Up in Ford County, I know that they have been waiving that $20 copay across the board.
Don't even, right,
Yeah,
don't even
so-
accept it. Whatever we get from that, for supplements.
Yeah.
So, and you don't have to work with networks. You don't have to worry about, is this hospital going to take it? Is this doctor? If they accept Medicare, they're accepting the supplement. Okay? But I encourage you guys, get surveys. If you guys aren't booked up for the rest of this week, go back to your manager, ask them if there's any old surveys, or if you have not gotten surveys yet today, there's still a ton of surveys that were issued out this morning. So go in there. They're quick, easy phone calls. I love calling surveys. Look, you spoke to somebody recently about your Medicare supplement. Looks here that I'm going to be able to save you some money. I'm going to be out your area Wednesday or Thursday. Does this time work well for you? It doesn't matter what their health is. Go meet them.
These policy fees, are they due at the time of the...
They're going to take that on the first premium. So if they're paying it monthly, the first monthly premium is going to be that much higher than what it's normally going to be. And please, please, please explain policy fees. If the policy is going to have a policy fee, you've got to tell the client, because they're going to be expecting that lower premium coming out of the bank. And then that becomes an angry phone call that you get later.
Two things. 95% of the time, people I call that have supposedly done med surveys swear up and down they've never done them. That's question one. Number two is, if you tell somebody you can save X amount of money, and they say, well, we're happy with the plan, we're not changing it, don't care. What do you say to that?
Well, that's great. You know, what my job is to do is to take a look at what this information was gathered and give you the options. You know, Blue Cross Blue Shield is going to cover you the same as Cigna is going to cover you, the same as Manhattan's going to cover you, the same as Aetna is going to cover
You
you.
can explain that to your blue in the face.
Right.
Yeah.
And some of them you're not going to get to change. We're not here to be able to change everybody.
That's right.
Now with the phone calls, I never ever mention the word survey. Never. I say you had a conversation about your Medicare supplement with so-and-so recently. Do you remember that phone call? Whether they say yes, no, or indifferent, I'm still saying the same thing next. Great. Well, it looks here, based upon the information that they received from you, that I'll be able to save you anywhere from $50 to $80 a month, however you want to word it. $800 a year, $1,200 a year. I'm going to be out in your area, and go straight for it, guys. You don't need to ask them about health questions. You don't need to ask them any other questions. Just go straight for it. Okay? I'm positive you are going to get their attention if you start telling them $800 to $1,200 a month. A year that we can save you for the exact same coverage that you currently have. It's like I told my people yesterday. I saved them $536. That's a month and a half worth of premiums that you guys just didn't have to save this year. Because they were paying like $380 a month. So, any other questions with supplements? Any other problems you've had writing supplements? Calling the surveys? Not every survey is great. Not every survey is a supplement. Sometimes I've gone into some of them and seen that they're, you know, Care Improvement Plus, they'll tell them, or they've got United Healthcare paying $30 a month. We all know that's the RPPO. Call them. Ask them if their agent offered them a hospital indemnity plan to help offset those costs. They may not have. They may be looking for something like that, or that may be their first time in the Medicare Advantage and they want to go back to a supplement. I've had a lot of people do that as well. When you break it down for them, if they're going to the doctors a lot,
yeah, it's costing them more.
And they can always go back to the same company that they had, and they don't have to use the same agent that they had before. If you know that they were with United Healthcare, you can right back on United Healthcare.
How long do they have to go back to someone
1
when
year.
they've been switched out?
Anytime within the first 12 months.
So they have a year, from going from a supplement to an advantage one, that 1 year to go back.
First time.
Yeah, it was the first time.
if that was the first time they did that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Now, if you are writing med subs, you know, hopefully you are. If you're halfway through the month, don't write it from the beginning of the month.
Yeah.
Because more than likely you're not going to be able to get it approved, get the policy, and get back out to the client before the next premiums due. And then next thing you know, they're getting double dipped, and then now you, instead of being the savior, you're now the person's not very happy. Go back and write it for the following month. Right now, write it for September. You can always go back, like I did yesterday. He actually got approved quicker than we thought. Went out and called his other company, took it off bank draft, and then called our new supplement company and said, hey, can we do it a month earlier now? It's easier to do that than trying to change it the other way. And so, you know, make sure you're giving yourself enough time. I always make sure it's at least 30 days on a supplement.
On the supplement, it has to start at the first of the month, or say like what you just said, Scott, I wrote it for beginning of September, it got approved, I can go back and start it up, what, the 15th of next month?
You could if you wanted to. You want to make sure that you're not going to be double covered. So kind of when you're replacing a supplement, you're going to want to go off of how the first one is. So if they're like paying for it on the 20th of the month, then I would probably do it on the 20th of the month. I wouldn't do it on the 15th. They're going to be double covered for 5 days.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody knows what a G, F, and N will cover, right? You could rattle that off the top of your head right now if you had to.
Deductible.
Okay. If you don't know that,
Then that's what you should say.
I would know that inside and out, guys. It's really not difficult. The N plan. You've got the annual deductible for Part B, which right now is $188. And you got an up to $20 copay, $183. You got an up to $20 copay at the doctor's office. Emergency room is $75. But if you're admitted, it's waived.
Right, if you're admitted.
Okay. G plan. You got the $183 Part B deductible. Once you pay that, you're not paying another thing. And then obviously the F plan pays everything.
Go onto the doc server, find it in Med Supp app. Every one of them got the chart in there. Go on the chart and just look at it.
Pull one.
Pull one out and become familiar with the plans. If you don't know, you should know, like you said, you should know by the back of your hand. If you don't, have that chart handy in your book somewhere.
And it's a good way to, when you're standing in front of the client, have a stack of those in your binder and just use it. And one of the things we always say is, name on the top of this thing means nothing. They're all identical, but the rates are not, you know, so you can write everything in, the prices, and then give them something to look at. People like visuals, so it makes it easy.
Yep, I leave a chart with each one of mine. A lot of the apps, guys, if you're using paper apps, Scott's put the plan details inside there, so it'll even break down what the F plan's covering, G plan, and N plan as well. Another thing that I tell folks, the only thing that's changing here, the only thing I'm changing is the cost you're paying and the color of the card you're going to show the doctor. The only thing's changing. The benefits are staying the same. If you're switching them from an N to an N, G to a G, and F to an F.
I'm finding that many people that got supplements right off the bat, when they were 65, they never did get a prescription drug plan. And right now you can't enroll them into a prescription drug plan, or you have to wait until January for it to start. But how do you approach that? When, you know, you've got to tell them, well, you get penalized.
Unfortunately, when you signed up, the agent that signed you up for this, or if you did it on your own, there was a second part that you had to do. And this comes into play, guys, because I carry those United Healthcare Blue books. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but if you open it up to like the first or second page, it tells you your Medicare, your Parts A, your Part B, and then your options. You've got to choose one of these options here. Okay? So you took the first step with the supplement, but you never followed through with the Part D. Unfortunately, you're going to have a little bit of a penalty, but what I'll do is I'll go ahead and notate my system to come back out here or to go ahead and run your prescriptions, because I just wrote you a supplement. I have all your prescriptions. So I'll put all this into the information, I'll rerun it for you, and I'll let you know which one's going to probably be best for you come October for the plan year of 2018. You're going to have a little bit of a penalty on top of it, but it's better that we knock that out now than going another couple of years, because the longer you wait, the more the penalty is going to be. And that's how I handle it. I don't try to dwell on it too much.
Well, if their penalty is going to be something like anywhere between $27 and $32.
There's no reason to worry about that now, because you can't do anything about it.
Right.
So just wait until the fall, fix their supplement, and go back and fix that in the fall.
And it's up to them. You'd be amazed at how many people are willing to pay that, especially if they're on insulin. It's going to cost them $300 to $400 a month per prescription. $20, $30 a month isn't going to hurt them if they have to pay that much for insulin.
But I'm not, with drug plans, guys, we'll revisit that in fall. I mean, I got a whole list of all these supplements that I've done, and they want me to run their prescription. I said, no problem, I'll run your prescriptions. I know what prescription plan you have. If it's the same one, I'll let you know. If we need to change something, I'll be back out to see you. So, a lot of people get confused, and one of the other things that I get on the phone, guys, is they get confused with open enrollment season with Medicare supplements. Open enrollment season's all year long for Medicare supplements, because they have to help qualify for that. Okay, so I have had to overcome that a couple times. People didn't think that they could change because they thought you could only change October through December. But if you guys aren't talking about it, you're not going to give them. You got to give them the options. If you're out there with T65 people, give them the option between a supplement and a Medicare Advantage plan. A lot of my supplement clients I'm going back to and having the long-term care talk to. Those are your more educated clients. Those are the ones that get it. Medicare's not going to cover it. What are we going to do? You've got to have a plan in place. Whether it's an insurance plan, whether you're going to use your assets or children, you got to have some type of plan. So what is your plan? Open that door for discussion. People getting set to retire are concerned about that. I've had 3 or 4 different talks in the last 2 weeks with people asking me about long-term care. I'm not even bringing it up to them. They're asking me about it. And we don't hardly write any of it in here. So Pacific's got that great policy. You can pay 5, 7, or 10 years, or you can just do a lump sum on it. It's a win-win situation. If they want their money back, they can have it back. If they pass away before they use it, beneficiaries will get more than what they put into it. So it's a win-win situation for them. Any other questions with supplements?
Yeah, on Plan N, the other thing is that they don't cover the Part B excess charges.
Correct.
But they don't have it very often, do they? Or, you know,
Not very often at all. From the way that I have always been told with the Part B excess charges, most of the time it's going to cost the doctor's office more money to pay somebody to type up that bill, process that claim, that payment, and all of that stuff than what they're actually even going to get. So a lot of times the doctor's offices will write it off. It can happen.
is that basically the doctor's charging more and then they've got to pay that?
15% is what Scott says. 15%? They can pay 15% more than what Medicare allows. So they can push that off to the client.
Right.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it once.
Once. How much was it?
And that was probably 8 years ago. But I've seen it. It was decent, it was a few $100s, but I've only seen it once.
So it doesn't come into play too much. Now I'll tell you what. I actually switched somebody. They were with Mutual of Omaha, I believe. No, United Healthcare, and I believe they had Plan A or B with them. Horrible plan. He never went to the doctor, so he didn't really care. He didn't really even know it was a horrible plan. Actually got him switched over to an N plan. They live down in Bluffton because him and his wife were headed to France in July and really wanted the foreign travel. Medicare does not cover you outside the United States.
That's right.
So that's, I mean, we had to do an a telephone app with that one because he needed it right now. So that's another selling point. And I think all of those, the N, the F, and the G, all of them, all cover the full foreign travel.
What was that? I remember we had been putting in, I didn't think we were, Matt brought up the fact of the F plan kind of being phased out, or?
From what I've seen, and Scott, you can correct me if I'm wrong, what I've seen is that in 2020, nobody new into Medicare is going to be able to obtain an F plan. If you have an F plan, you can keep it.
January 2020.
2021?
January 2020. After 2020, yeah.
Okay, so January 2021. Nobody new into Medicare can get an F plan. But if you're already on Medicare and in an F plan, you can switch from F to F with inside the companies. So if you're with United of Omaha right now and you're going to switch to Medico, you can get an F plan with them because you've already had an F plan. You're grandfathered in. But nobody new is going to be able to get those.
I think what I read is they're eliminating all the plans that covered the deductible.
Yep, that's
I think
F and C.
isn't it C and F?
C, yeah.
Yep.
Because over
Pretty much everyone's going to have to pay their own deductible, and that's what's going to happen. And we've seen it happen with Plan J when they got rid of that. It takes a few years, but they'll eventually phase it out. And so what's going to happen to people that are on Plan F, eventually it's going to get more expensive.
Yeah, because all you're going to have is people that are filing claims, guys. And when people, your rates are going to
That's
go.
a good selling point,
Yeah.
Yeah,
because that's 3 years from now, you know, you don't want, your health could change, you want to get out of it now.
absolutely.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. There was something else I was going to say. It was on the tip of my tongue. On this chart, guys, now I remember what it was. Mutual of Omaha. Mutual of Omaha will have a G plan come August. It's going to be under United World. You know, Mutual of Omaha and all their different company names that they love to throw out there. So Omaha, Mutual of Omaha, United of Omaha, and
World of Omaha.
of Omaha are all Mutual of Omaha. Your writing number should work with all of
And
them.
they don't have a G now.
They don't this month. Next month they will have a G.
But as of now, you could write it.
But you could write it because of the effective date.
Yeah.
And you can do EAPs on those same place that you would go for your regular Mutual of Omaha. Andrea went and got this. Guys, this is the chart that Jim was talking about. Y'all should have this, same one Jerry was talking about. Y'all should have these in your binders. If you don't, find one, put it in there. Goes over all the plans, what they cover and what they don't cover.
It's also Medicare music.
So, get familiar with it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. If you guys aren't booked up, go get some service from your managers, guys. Your 10% is paying for it.
Yes, I have.
I actually want those that I printed out.
Yep.
Yes, I have. But thanks a lot.
I just wanted you to know what it looks like.
Let me a copy of this.
I'll give it back to you.
This is the plan F.
Hey, can I have some service?
Yeah.
I took this off of Sig.